So now, moving forward, um, if anybody needs to take a break or you want to stretch or anything like that, or um, maybe even
No, I
I
already
don't
went
know.
and peed.
I'm just gonna throw this out at you. Being an adopted kid, for some reason, I always felt like we never had enough food. I don't know why, and I just thought that was so strange. How I'm adopted, it seemed like these people should have been more prepared and prepped, and but I felt like I was starving. So, um, um, all right, Green Reaper. He says that he adopted his nieces, and
Yeah,
that's
we saw him,
cool. I
Grandma.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
He actually asked
Uh,
how we thought about family members adopting the kids of other family members who had died and whatnot.
oh,
That is
I
actually
Yeah.
that's a
that
totally
happened to
different
me.
ball game.
Yeah, that's a
That's
whole different.
100% absolutely for that.
So
Well,
the hippie connection, it is a
I'm
very
not.
touchy subject. But for us as a group being all together as adopted people, it's a lot easier for us to speak about it, and that's why I'm doing this
Yes.
panel. And
Mm,
Hi, Christy.
yes.
like YouTube Watcher said, I am going to be doing more of these, so just keep watching. I wouldn't mind doing quite a bit of these. So yeah.
It's a lot safer the way that
Yep.
Jeremiah set this up, because if Jeremiah was on here by himself, I mean, if anyone watched the show and to watch him explain his adoption, to watch him go through it, I like you said, YouTuber, somebody needs to pull up that, and you need to watch that. To watch Jeremiah go through that alone, and I mean, that's what caught my attention. But I wouldn't wish that for anybody. Um, Here we are. This is a safety net right here. I mean, we're all looking at each other, and I think that we all experience a lot of the same stuff. So I can about tell you when somebody on here is about to lose it,
Okay,
versus if
so
you know.
Nola D, we will get to that question as soon as everyone has answered what Detroit was asking.
So, um, yeah, back to what I was saying. Like, did anybody ever experience being hungry, not having enough um, clothing? And because I remember I always had to wear the same shoes for 1 year in school. I mean, I'm adopted. I couldn't get. My parents were great. Don't get me wrong, but I still feel like throughout the whole time that I was living my life, everything was centered around being adopted. I just did. I was always struggling. I was always um, trying to overcome something, and I'm still feeling like that. And I try to be very open minded with my own, children. And I don't even know if I did that right, because I didn't want them to feel left out or feel what I felt. And but I was always hungry. I was always hungry. I was always
I
starving. I felt like I was always in need of something.
can I answer your question, Detroit?
Uh huh.
I feel different. I'm pretty sure I'll feel differently about it than you do. The little spurts that I felt hungry was probably more my fault. Um, but like I said yesterday, my mom and dad died when I was real young too. So I mean, it's the family itself had a lot of stuff going on that may have caused some of that kind of thing. So I'm sure I feel the same way my siblings feel. You know.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my family, my adoptive family was very well off, but they would treat me so differently than my adopted sisters from Russia, where, they would buy them new clothes, they would feed them more. They would, like, I always just felt like the puppy who peed on the carpet too many times that couldn't be taken back to the pound. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of
Yeah, we did.
So
I
that was
do.
difficult.
I
It
know
was
how you
just
feel.
the differentiation of how I was treated compared to my sisters who were also adopted, because I was the only one who was abused by my mom. And they still
Uh-oh.
deny that happened. My sisters do. I was never to them, but I think just that's another thing with like, if you are to adopt children, treat your children equally, no matter what. Like, give them the same amount of love and respect to each child individually. Make sure you take that time to show them that love, because it can be so detrimental. Because now I still, like I said earlier, feel that hole in my heart that I fill with so many toxic things I shouldn't through the years. Like,
Yeah, we do that. We do that.
You know?
Look at you too. We do that. We do. And so how many people, just to a show of hands, how many people saw that episode with Jeremiah on Breaking Amish when he was talking about being adopted? Yeah. So you did too, Caitlin? So I just want to go around and ask everybody, Caitlin, how did you, in watching that, how did that make you feel?
Is it okay if I don't answer?
Yes, absolutely. Krista, can you
She
share
said
with us like
next.
how that made you feel? Okay.
It broke my heart. You guys talked about this last night. I started watching the show from day one, from when it first premiered. So I've watched Jeremiah this whole time that he's ever been a public type figure. And even before that came out, I knew there was something about him and Sabrina that was just not the same as with everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
And then once that came out, I was like, oh, that's what
There
it
it
is.
is.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why I feel connected with him. And watching him do that, it broke my heart. And then even watching you guys talk about it last night, I was just sitting here in my house, just tears streaming down my face. I was like, I told my husband, I said, I'm gonna have a box of Kleenex ready tomorrow night, just in case. Because it broke my heart. He had hit on a lot of points that I had felt. And then hearing his story, it explained a lot more about why he is the way how he is.
Right. Absolutely. Did you see that, Nina? Did you happen to see the episode?
I did. And I think it was incredibly important for me when I did see it, because it was the first time I saw something in the media about adoption that wasn't fluffy and wasn't, sugar coated, that made me feel less alone.
Yeah,
and
it was real.
Like, I less alone in that pain for a moment, and that, just having that on television, like, you know what I mean? Having something in the media that's real and raw about adoption, fucking truth. And that's been uncovered topic, and when it is covered so lightly and sugar coated, like, it always turns out perfect, like it's Full House or something, you know what I mean? And like, it was so important for me to just see that on such a large scale, someone going through the same pain I've been through, and just a little less alone in it.
Yeah. Caitlin, did you want us to come back to you, or?
No, sorry.
Okay. I will say that I'm just like Nina and Krista. Especially Krista, when you said that you knew that there was something different about Jeremiah. I knew that there was, from day one. Everybody kept saying that, oh, he's drinking, he's out of control, he's this, and I kept thinking that, and I kept saying, no, there's something about him that's relatable. I could see myself, even though he's a guy, it didn't matter. And then as the series kept going, and I kept telling everybody around me, I said, you know what? Something's gonna come out.
Yeah, there's
something about him that he ain't said it yet, but it's gonna come out at something. And sure enough, boom! When the adoption thing came out, and then what he was telling, and he was going into details, I felt like, at first I felt like somebody took some of my life and fed it to the media. And I was like, wait a minute, because this sounds like my life, And of course, we as adopted people, we're the only people that this has ever happened to, of course. So when I cried, and I cried with him. I lost it. I lost it. And
So,
but I'm just so glad that here we are today. But there was a part of me that was, that was so hopeful. I was like, I hope one day that I meet Jeremiah and that I can let him know that because of you,
I
uh,
know.
because of you, yeah, I can breathe again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah,
And
like
I
I
know that there's
totally
so
like you said last night. I just wanted to reach out to the TV and just give them
I
an
did.
adoptee to an adoptee hug and say, you know what, we're in this together, as the
Hmm.
saying goes right now.
Amen.
And I felt the same thing with YouTube last night. We were talking, and I'm sitting there thinking,
Yeah,
here's two people. I've always wanted a real brother, because I shared some details about me and what happened with me, with some people in my biological family. Um, I at the sake of, um, after I found out that I was adopted, um, I was molested. I'm not gonna bring up who did it. I was molested, and I know that had I told
yeah.
anybody, then I would have never been able to spend time with my biological mother to even ask her any questions. Like, they would have just yanked me away, and that would have been it. So I just, kept it hush, lived with it, and to this day, it destroys every relationship that I've ever been in. Because I don't now, I don't like to be touched, and I was already like feeling like I didn't want to be touched no way. Now I really don't. And at my age, I just feel like I shouldn't even have to be working on these issues, but I have them. You know, I have them. I still at this. I have them, and Jeremiah has given me an opportunity to work on these issues because I don't know if I would have just gave up and just you know and just
Jeremiah
said
gave you
forget
an
it.
opportunity to talk to like-minded individuals and share in a setting
Yeah.
that wasn't about financial gain, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
And I feel
Spot on.
I act and I feel
and
safe
it's a
with YouTube
non-judgmental.
watcher and Jeremiah than any man that I've been with and around because it doesn't feel I don't feel we as women how you start feeling all that dirty feeling and all of
You're
that.
not
I
being
don't feel
judged.
like that
Right.
with them. Yeah, I don't feel like that. And it meant a lot to me to have that feeling. I've always wanted to feel like that. That's what a brother is, you know.
Amen. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Caitlin, I wanted to share with you too that when I was your age and I was in high school, I never really told anybody, but because having eating disorders was never addressed among black people. You
Right.
know, I remember when I was in high school and I knew that I had an eating disorder and I didn't know who to turn to because all I knew that this was a disease like somebody like Karen Carpenter would have, you know, somebody
Right.
that
I remember
was just
that.
the
Yeah.
opposite of me. I couldn't find anybody black that I could say this is what's happening. So once again, I want to congratulate you for sharing that with everybody because right now you're helping somebody and you're
Thank
reminding
you.
me that I'm still fragile and I can go there at any time. And I'm so grateful. I'm glad that she's here on this panel because she
Me
actually has
too.
an opportunity to do something that had we been able to do this at 15, I wonder where we would be now, right?
Because when
I
I was
would
Hey,
never
15,
have.
I just remember feeling so alone.
I
Mm-hmm.
Like
never
I
would have
remember
done it.
just the loneliness of
Mm-hmm.
my pain.
who has a garden? Who grows flowers and plants or food or
I
something?
do.
I try.
I do. I do.
Try.
I do. I do.
It's
Oops.
it's it's therapeutic and it's a place that you can go and you can sit and talk to your plants while you're pulling weeds or whatever. And if you don't like to write or you don't like to do something else, at least it's some way you can vent a little bit. And and
Mm.
and the plants, they benefit from the carbon dioxide exchange. So it's a it's a win-win. Um
I love my
but
plants.
but what I was getting back to is if you're growing food, maybe that would help with some of the the eating disorder stuff,
Mhm.
because if you're not
Mhm.
eating as much, then at least you'd be eating good, organic, homegrown,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
healthy. And if
Mhm.
you're growing it yourself, you'd be more apt to try it too. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
But I just like the fact that I know I had the disorder and I still have it. So like I said, I can always go there. I choose not to, and I know that it's a lot more behind it than just eating. So
Yes.
um,
100%.
yeah. So with that said, I'm just I'm so grateful that she brought that to the table because I forgot about that part. I forgot about the things like that kept me from healing and kept me from getting out of that adoption spin, that circle that I get myself all wrapped up into. And um, and YouTuber, you really helped me. YouTube, you helped me yesterday a lot. I
Hmm.
really did. Um, you know,
It's
I
just a
need
change of
more.
perspective sometimes. You need a fresh insight, you know?
Um, I was in the documentary film Los Angeles Skid Row is my home,
Oh.
and I'm also in The Soloist, the movie The Soloist with Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
Um,
by the way, I did find that today. So I was looking last night and couldn't find it.
I
I did
love
find it.
that movie, by the way. Like, that's
aw,
such an amazing movie.
mm,
I just have to say.
terrific. Uh, does anybody else cling to people who else is adopted? Oh yeah,
Well, I was talking about that earlier, where like
yes, yeah,
these codependent relationships because I am
yes.
so tired of losing people. Like,
Say
and
that again with the word that you said before.
Codependent.
No,
true,
she
it's trauma bonding. Trauma
trauma
bonding.
bonding. Yeah, trauma bonding.
Yeah, and trauma bonding, it's either where two people or multiple people go through a traumatic experience together and then like
No.
toxically relationship based off of that, or people who have been through traumatic relation or things in their past and bond
Right.
over, and it can get toxic very quickly because usually those people are unstable and not taking very good care of themselves and not really ready to
Did
be
we
in a
lose
relationship.
Aaron? I mean, did we lose Caitlin?
Yes.
Yeah,
We
I think
did.
she dropped out.
Um,
Okay.
Nola D's asked
Hello, mama.
what episode is about the adoption. Well, throughout the entire season that we talk about adoption, but the one that
Uh,
you're talking about was in down in New Orleans, down Louisiana.
Yes.
If
When
I'm
you
not,
got drunk.
no, I
You
quit
weren't?
drinking. No, I quit drinking a couple years ago.
mm-mm.
No,
I
I
don't. No, he wasn't.
for that episode.
No,
I don't think.
You
No,
weren't?
I don't think he was.
Okay.
No,
nope.
I think that. I
Okay.
think that that's what caught my attention because I kept saying he's not drunk. He hadn't
Nope.
been drinking.
I
Something's wrong.
I had quit
That's what caught
drinking.
my attention. Yeah.
I had
Okay.
I had quit drinking
I've
a
been drinking.
long time ago. But
Mine's
uh,
brain fuzzy from all the other drugs.
I'm trying to think what episode that would be in.
I'm gonna find it, Jeremiah. I'm
Okay.
gonna find it, and I will post it. I
Yeah.
want to ask you guys so that the people that are listening, the people out there, because I don't want people to go to sleep tonight and think that we're not successful people, that we're not smart people, that we're not confused. We have functioning lives. We're raising
Mhm.
children. We know how to be very responsible, and we're very protective of people. So I want us to go around and share with the people the things that has worked for us, and that what good advice do we have to give to somebody else. I'll start with myself. I'm going to tell you what helps me when I'm feeling like I'm spiraling out of control. I stop and I remind myself that I can only be adopted once. You can only give me away once. It only happened once. Okay? So now that that's happened, it's up to me now to not make sure that I don't give myself away to nothing. And the things that I do, I'll go for a walk. I will pick up the phone and call somebody and say, I feel like I'm sinking. Sometimes, just like you two said, I deal with my plants. I have animals. I
Yeah.
stay busy and I preoccupy myself instead of sitting there and wallowing like I used to do in that. Those are the things that I do. Somebody else want to
So we're gonna
share?
bring Caitlin back up. She commented in the
Good.
chat and said that
Beautiful.
she had a phone call. So I'm gonna drop the link again, Caitlin, and you can click on that one and come back up here.
I was thinking maybe she hit the wrong button.
I
Can you guys
know.
No, that's
can
my
you guys
game.
can hold on for 1 second? I'm sorry. Can you guys share with the people how successful that you've been and the things that you've done and the things that works for you guys? And while you're doing that, I'm gonna go pull up that episode with Jeremiah, please, if you guys can share with the people, because I don't want people to walk away thinking that we just a group of confused people that that are non-functioning.
No.
We work, we have jobs. So
Some of y'all work. I stay at
Yeah.
home with the kids, man.
that's a heck that's a
That's a
24-hour
full-time
job.
job though, bud.
That's a
That's a
damn
full-time
job.
job.
See? Now you can vouch for all the stay-at-home moms.
Well, that's all. I mean, I worked most
That's
of my
right,
life. I
Linda.
just started doing this in the last like 3-4-ish years, something like that.
Yeah, and I take care of my sick father full time now. So I'm his full time caregiver, but I've started an Etsy shop that I put stuff on occasionally. So just to keep busy.
Right? See, what do? I have my little dog. I have a husband I got to take care of, property. I sell Tupperware. I DoorDash. I do all kinds of things. I'm active in like film stuff, YouTube production things. Keep really busy.
Good. That's the key, is keeping busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm not busy, that's when I tend to start to get really depressed and whatnot. I'm lucky because I don't necessarily have to work, but I choose to. And I've noticed that I can only sit around for a month, maybe two, before I start feeling really depressed and whatnot. And so, yeah, I have to keep busy.
Well, this
And
whole quarantine, it's been hard on me mentally. I've gone to places mentally I haven't gone in years, and that's scary. And
yeah,
I'm still trying to work through some of that. But I think also because I was medicated my whole life because of my mom with Munchausen by proxy, I only came off all the drugs 3 years ago. Not even, I was 25. Yeah, so like 3 years ago.
you're still detoxing.
Yeah, I mean, I was an addict from the time I was 3 to 25. Like, I had something in my system at some point, and then I was a heroin addict for 10 years. And so finding healthy coping skills is still something very new to me, because I feel like I was drugged and numb for so long. Not that now I have 28 years of trauma and 28 years of emotions that I numbed out, that I never allowed myself to work through, and it's hitting me like a truck all at once, and it's at times too much to handle, and that's what I've been struggling with lately. But yeah.
See, now I wasn't medicated necessarily, so
Right.
but there was times that I was, but
Right.
I've seen numerous therapists and whatnot, and you know what? This has been the best therapy I've ever had.
Same.
Therapists suck.
Well,
I've never respected therapists. I've fired
Yeah.
2 therapists already. I don't have a lot of
I don't trust
this right here
doctors.
is
I
more
know too much
therapeutic to
medically. I
me.
just don't trust them.
Yeah,
Ron,
this
for
is more
shit.
therapeutic than going to somebody's office that really doesn't give 2 shits about you. All they're looking for is to make money on your woes.
Yep.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's the thing, is like, it's much more beneficial to talk to someone who's gone through the same thing than talk to someone who's read about it in a book, got a degree, and claims to know what they're talking about when they've never experienced it themselves. Same thing with addiction. Addiction specialists, I'd much rather talk to someone who was a heroin addict for 20 years than a doctor who read about it, because he's not going to know what's going to help me and help me get through these things, because he never experienced that.
Yeah.
well, yeah, life experience is always better than
Book.
Well,
club.
and majority of my were therapists in the facilities I was in. And so seeing a therapist brings up my trauma. And so I can't even go into a therapist's office without a panic attack because that's who most of my molesters and abusers were. And so
yeah, you go to a therapist, you feel like you're getting pulled over by a police officer, right?
Exactly. Like, you know, total loss of control.
Yep. Do we have any questions? Let's see. Reading. Do any of the people watching have any questions? Or Detroit, do you want to move on to your next question you have?
Looks like her service is acting up again.
Oh, yeah. Figures I go to change screens, read the questions, and she disappears.
YouTube watcher, you have anything you want to say?
I don't know. I got off of the medication though, because I don't feel any better or worse. I just felt different on the medication. It wasn't that I felt better, you know.
Yeah.
It cured certain symptoms of the anxiety or whatever other thing I might have been feeling, but it created other symptoms too. So it's not like it felt better or worse. I just felt different, you know.
Right. Well, and for me,
yeah,
for me with my
like
mom,
I'm not trying to get rid of the pain or the depression or whatever. I just want to be able to deal with it a little better without feeling different, you know. It's coping mechanisms and you know, little personal little things you do. You know, it's like alcoholics or if you go to NA or something, they tell you wear a rubber band and snap it, you know, and little things, you know. Well, you know, everybody has their own little things, you know.
Yeah.
right.
So
Well, somebody just asked the question: is it okay to foster a child before adopting? And I believe this is just my take on that. Depends on the age of the child.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because and don't underestimate an adopted child. We know from 2 and 3, we're very smart. So whatever you're saying or doing, like we remember those things that stays on our hard drive.
Yeah.
So to us, if you think about when we hear, don't tell us that that's what you're doing, because when we hear, well, I'm gonna foster you to, that almost sounds like I'm gonna test you out to
Right.
see if you fitting in over here, and if you don't, then we already know what's gonna happen.
Or not.
We're not pawns.
Yeah. No. So if you wanna adopt, then just go on in. Fostering is like testing to see if we meet some certain type of criteria, and then you're not going to really be able to get you're not going to be able to bring the best out of that child, because that child's always going to feel like that
well,
we
it's
have
not
to meet
just
some
that.
kind of quota.
A lot of states they won't let you live in a certain place for more than a year or so if you're a foster, you know. So they keep shuffling you around, you know. So
Yeah.
and they get paid for that. So I mean, it's not like they're most of them don't want to adopt. They just, you know, foster you for a year, you're gone, they get another one, you know.
Adoption without fostering would be like an arranged marriage.
No, because that happens to babies all the time.
Adoption without fostering. See, I don't.
No.
If you guys want to know that, if you want the honest opinion, listen to the people that's further down the road. And I'm going to say it again. If you bring up fostering to an adoptee, you might as well just say, let me check to see if you blend in with the rest of the family, or let me see what's kind of messed up with you and see if I can deal with it. The two don't go together. It just doesn't.
It's like I said, We're
We
not
are-
puppies you can take back to the pound, you
You
know?
shouldn't even
You
take
either want
puppies
me or
back
you
to the
don't.
pound. That's still no. If you're gonna adopt, it's a permanent solution. There's no temporary. There's no going back. There's no turning around. There's no refunds, no returns, no exchanges.
And guess what? Let me solve the problem for you. I can answer that for you. Guess what? We have issues, and we don't blend in well. So just know that up top, because that's how we were packaged. You have to understand that once a mother and father give up their child, and you put that over there and you walk away, what you've done to us is that you've given me a complex. So don't come back and ask me, I wonder if they're mentally challenged. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
left me. So we don't have to. We don't need to do no fostering. I'm gonna let you know up front. I'm kind of screwed up here.
We come with baggage.
We come with baggage, but we didn't
Amen.
see that. And this is the kind of baggage that we
And it's
didn't ask for. The person,
No, yeah,
the
and
person
we
that
didn't
did that
create
gave
this
it to us.
baggage. It came with
Mhm.
us from birth or whenever we were adopted. It's just
Yes.
that's just how it is.
Hey, can I address something Nola D just said? She said, but I would rather see good people as foster than a child abuser, stuff like that. I would like to
I
see
agree.
adoptees that want to
Uh-oh.
adopt be pushed to the top of the list a little bit. Does that
See,
make
and
sense?
that's where I'm
Yep.
saying a psychology, like they need to be psychologically evaluated. I think, yeah, especially foster parents, 100%, there needs to be a psychological eval somewhere in there for any parent.
Somebody-
I don't care if it's coming out of your uterus or you're going to an orphanage. I think you need a psych eval to be a damn parent. But
There shouldn't be a financial compensation for fostering. I think that I should be compensated for y'all giving me up for adoption and then leaving me, and then when everybody dies, I don't have anybody. I think that the
Right.
government should compensate me for what
I don't think the
I've given
government
to
should do
them.
it. No,
Which I don't know who, but oh no, you're right. You're right. The
maybe
people that
the two people that laid down. Maybe they ought to
yeah,
compensate you
somebody
with some kind of insurance or something.
somebody yeah, because you left us with you adopt us out to families that didn't have enough money to
My
take care
wife
of
is
themselves.
busting out laughing. Look, she brought it up, not me.
Well, you know what? I feel like if you're going to adopt a child, you should have to have and leave them at least a $50,000 to $100,000 life insurance policy. So when you die, you didn't leave me in the streets homeless, and you left me right where you found me. And I don't, and that's what I'm pissed off about, because the way that I was given up for adoption and I came into nothing, when my whole family died, you left me with nothing. So when you adopt a child, you should have to leave them with at least a $50,000 to $100,000 cash bond that they can cash in once that family is deceased, because that way I can at least pick myself up and I can go buy me a home or something that I can go to, because the home that you told me that would be there now is gone. Now that's two homes that is gone. I have nothing. I lost twice.
So, can I ask a question here? I don't
Yes,
know.
sir.
I wasn't here the whole time because I had to take care of some stuff. But back to the beginning of adoption, right? Well, I guess it wouldn't be really the beginning, but even now, how many of you have the question, what if, in the back of your mind? What if I could have stayed with my real parents? What if I would have been adopted into a different home?
well, and for me, since I've met my mom and she found out everything that happened to me and all the abuse and the Munchausen and the facilities, she wishes she kept me. She tells me every day, you would have been better off with me when I was 18 years old and clueless than you were with that woman. And she cries to me about it, And so I do, in a way, wish that she did. It would have kept me from going through a lot. I mean, I probably would have seen a lot of shit in that situation too. Who knows? I might be just as fucked up. But I think it would have been a lot better. And just the fact she says it is comforting.
When my biological mother died in 1988, and then 2 years later, my mom that adopted me died. And I don't care if that woman had $1 million mansion, I would not never go back to my biological mother. I don't. I would not. I would not. I wouldn't. I mean, I could probably be friends with her, but I don't want her as a mother because the pain is real. Pain is real. I can't unring that bell. I can't. That bell's been rung, and it ring, and it's so loud in my ear, it hurts.
Yeah.
It really hurts. I now we getting deep in this. Now we getting deep. I'm feeling it.
See, that's how
Now,
it is with my mom. That's how I feel with her. Yeah.
yeah. See, that's why to the people that were asking us earlier, but they wasn't understanding why we were talking the way that we were. You like YouTube said, you can't dive into this. It's a
Right.
slow groove, and now we getting in it, and
Yeah.
feelings are coming up, and no, no, I
So
just,
you
you
understand
know
what
what?
she said, right, Caitlin? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, baby.
Yeah, this
Amen.
is, and you know what? Right now, like I'm just, I just, this is why it's so hard to talk about stuff like this because I'm just now, I, I really, I'm scared to say it. Like,
Oh my God. We're here for you.
it hurts because, I mean, you guys, like, I'm adopted. Like, I can't believe I have to even say that.
I just want to jump out of the screen and give you a hug so damn bad. Oh my God.
It hurts.
We're gonna have to have a convention like y'all talked about. So we can all get together.
I don't, because just to even say that, like, it hurt.
Yeah.
When I think about it, I feel hard for me to really think about because I never really said it to myself. I'm adopted, you guys.
Yep. Join the club.
It just it feels like a dream, though. It feels like a fucking dream. Oh my God.
No, there'll be things I've dealt with that I'll push down and like feel like I've overcome. And then 4 years later, 5 years later, it'll just pop up again and smack me in the face, when I least expect it. I mean, these are the kind of things that will always be with you. And sometimes those scars will reopen. They will heal again, but there's always a chance of them opening when you least expect it,
Even when I just keep saying it over and over, it doesn't even feel right. Because it's something that I can't make go away. I can't take it back. Because and what hurts so bad is that I didn't do this. I didn't want this. This is not what I wanted.
No, you didn't have a choice in it.
I just feel like,
baby. I mean, that's
what did I do?
The pain that kids will carry on into their adulthood from this that people don't really understand. Just the pure feeling of unwanted and unloved, and just constantly striving to fill that and never really reaching it. And just the torment of that alone, just feeling that emptiness of like, who am I? Like, where do I belong? Who can I belong to? Like, you know what I mean? And how toxic that can get.
But you
I mean,
also get to you feel that so familiar emotion when you get rejected at a job
Yeah,
interview and all the other shit. But it's
yeah.
just
yeah.
compounded because it started way earlier, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just sitting there really trying to really say to myself, like, what did I? Why did she want me? You know, you guys, why?
And Detroit,
That's
one thing that you said, you asked, what did I do? You,
right. I was
us
just gonna
as
say that.
kids, we
Did not
didn't
do
do
anything.
anything. It's
Like
not
she
our
did not
fault.
even have the chance to know what a beautiful soul you are. She didn't, it's her loss for not getting to have you in her life. That is her loss, not yours. That is her loss, that she lost the chance to have such a beautiful, amazing daughter that you are. And that's not yours to carry. That's hers to carry. That she gave up something so beautiful and so pure in this world, and she lost that. That's not your fault.
I just wish that the people out there go to adopt kids. I swear, please, 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 like, stop and think about what you're doing. Stop and say to yourself, is this what you really want to do? You know, because it's when the child turns 18, it doesn't stop there. They're gonna still have the emotions like I'm having right now. You see how old I am, and I'm still crying for my mother. Though, are you serious? I didn't think that I would feel like that.
And we're probably going to feel like this our entire lives.
I don't want to. I don't think that
I
that's
know
fair.
we don't want to. It's not fair. It's not fair to us. That's for God damn sure.
Who
But
wants to be walked around at 80 years old crying because your own mother just left you? Like, I guess
I
because I just
I
feel like
hear you. I
all
I
my
get it.
life.
I think 60, 70, 80-year-old people cry for their mama for different reasons at some point in their life.
I can tell
This
you
just happens to be your reason. You know what I'm saying?
it does.
Yeah,
They do. Trust me. My 80-year-old mother had a stroke not this past February, but last February. And as one of the things that we remember that just absolutely broke our heart is my mom crying out for her daddy.
Yep.
So we're always going to want our parents, whether it be the adoptive parents, the birth parent, the step parent, whoever
yeah.
it is that you have a space in your heart for, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be open. It's always
And I
going to
just feel,
take, we
I
can
know
shut
that
it down to a point, but it's all,
you guys feel like I do, and I feel so bad because I feel like I'm crying for everybody up on this panel because I know we all feel the same way. And I just,
that was like me last night crying for you guys. I wasn't on with you
you
guys,
know,
but I watched and I sat here crying. My husband's sitting here. Yep, she was. He brought me a box of Kleenex last night.
I
So
just hope that who's ever watching this, I just hope that I like what Jeremiah is doing because this is stopping the next person from feeling like I do. There's got to be a way that when you go to adopt, there's a proper way of doing it, so the person doesn't feel like I do right now. Because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy to feel like what I'm feeling right now. Y'all know how I feel right now, and once you get going, the feeling don't even want to stop. Because you know it's that voice that you hear on the inside that just keeps telling you over and over and over, you're not no good. They didn't want you. That validation, when you get that in your head, it hurts.
And all that hard shit you feeling right now, I bet you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't put it on somebody else, and I bet you
Yep.
wouldn't trade it in for something different either.
Nope, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I would rather carry this burden and carry this than to put it on
Right?
somebody else. Yeah, I'm right, because If you're not an adopted person, you wouldn't understand how I feel. But y'all know, and just think like, in a minute I'm gonna feel a little bit better. But the fact that that's how I got to hold this inside every day and get up and tell myself, you are somebody, you worth it. Somebody love you, love yourself. I just like doing all that. It's like I feel like I've been juggling, you know, in life instead of just having to get up and like everybody else. I just wanted to feel like everybody else. That's all. I see people with their parents and they cuss their parents out. They mistreat their parents. They'll say, I hate my mom and dad. And I'm thinking to myself, you have no idea. You're lucky. You gotta, I don't know.
Detroit, that cuts me hard because you want to know what? My son has cut me out of his life. My
That's
own flesh
crazy.
and blood has cut me out.
That's
So not only
crazy.
did my birth mother get rid of me,
Yeah.
my son has been like, bye. I haven't talked to him since 2014.
Girl, he gotta fix that. That's crazy.
He's 21 now. And I'm just
He'll come
waiting for the
around.
day that he grows up and realizes, like he's cut me out, he's cut my parents out. When I told him about my mother's stroke, there was zero response. He doesn't say happy birthday, he doesn't say happy Mother's Day. I message him and tell him happy birthday because I want to have that connection even if we don't see each other. I still want to be able to talk to him.
He'll come
You know,
around. He'll come
I hope
around.
so.
He's still young. He will.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. I'm just waiting for
He
that
will.
day. Now it's kind of funny because I'm Facebook friends with his half sister. He's
Mhm.
through my first husband, and so when I want to get a message to him, I make sure I send it to her because I actually can talk to her. She's the only one in their family pretty much that actually speaks to me in any way, shape, or form, which is really nice. And she was older. She was, I think, 12 or 13 when I came into her life. So, but yeah, so I know
I'm
that
sorry, you
feeling of
guys. I
being.
just I lost it.
No, no, you're fine. Police accountability. Is there a right way to adopt a child to help minimize the pain of what their biological? Okay, so
I
Ooh, that's a good
that
one.
that is a yes and no answer. Okay, it's
Yeah.
it's yes and it's no. Um, it's like I said earlier. The right way is make sure that you understand that when you adopt someone, as selfish as this sounds, um,
I don't know. I
the,
can't.
the kid that's adopted needs twice the love that a
you
regular
got it.
kid does.
You got to make the adoption all about the kid. You can't make it about your relationship. You can't make it about you wanted to have kids and you couldn't, so you adopted. It has to be all about the kid because the pain that we suffer goes way past the adoption. We turn 18, we turn 20, we turn 40. You know what I'm saying? We turn 50. Come on, we grow up, and those papers mean nothing if the papers and the adoption mean nothing if you can't still love me past 18. I still
What's
want to
worse
be
is the
loved.
name on the papers don't mean nothing. That's the
It
worst part.
don't. It
No.
The
doesn't.
name on the paper don't mean nothing. That paper don't mean nothing. The people, sometimes the people that you go to don't mean nothing either. You know,
Well,
Speak,
that's one
speaking of
thing that
names,
I think most of us can agree to is that we all feel like we flew solo this whole time.
Yep.
yeah.
You
No,
know,
I'm so tired of feeling like that little kid lost in the mall looking for their parents, but the parents just never showed up, and I've always just been like that lost little fucking kid, just looking,
Yep.
just for someone to fucking love me, and like
Yep.
that's hard.
Apology is it's not really what we're thinking. It's the reality that we live in.
And you know what? That's so sad. When you just said that, Nina, I just felt like I'm lost in the mall with you, and I feel like the person that came to get us was Jeremiah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to put something out there for the people that are watching and the people that will watch this afterwards. What you see right here, right? You see people hurt. You see people crying. That is actually the pain that lives within us as an adopted person 24/7.
Yep. And it doesn't take much
Yep.
to bring it out.
It never goes away.
No.
We're
And
one
we
straw
we might
away
not
from breaking every day.
we might not all cry about it. Some of us might get a little pissed off at some of the things people say about it, but we all feel some kind of way about it. And there's nothing we can do about that. It just is. It's our reality.
Right.
It's our life.
Right.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm glad that you said that, you too, because sometimes I don't cry. Sometimes I get very angry.
Mm.
And I end up
Sometimes
in
I like to
jail.
forget about it, right?
I end up in
Sometimes I just
jail,
want to
though.
forget.
Sure.
I done end
I
up
was,
in jail
yep.
because I got so angry. And I fight men. I don't fight females. I fight men. And I'm sitting in jail because I got so angry, you guys. And I know. And that's stupid. That's the time
No, it's
It's
not
not
when the
stupid.
stupid.
police
That's just how we are. That's how we are. Yesterday, I
I be
was
looking
so pissed
stupid
off.
though.
I was
Y'all
punching
just don't
walls
know.
yesterday. Today,
I
I'm
just be
crying.
looking
Last
so
night,
stupid, y'all. I be sitting in jail, and the people are looking at me like, well, "What you in here for?" And I'm looking at them. I said, "Well, I got into a fight." They're like, "With who?" I'm only 5'1". I'm gonna fault somebody, a man that's about 6'8". And they looking at me like, God damn, like, no, for real. And the police are looking at me, and that's the only time I ever gone to jail is when I just try to fight a man. You see what I'm saying? And the men are scared. If a man is scared and I'm coming at him, you know that that's got to be a lot of anger. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
yeah.
And that's
like,
what it's from. I ain't never been to jail for like writing no bad check. I never stole nothing. I ain't never sold nothing. None of that. It's all been because I'm up here fighting a man this tall, and I'm like this.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to post the link, and then Lemon Drops is going to be coming up here as well. So
Jeremiah,
yes,
remember everybody got to show a face before they can at least, you know what I mean? At least to you.
yeah. And I
You've
also,
got a lot of. I've been watching the chat for a little while, and I've seen a few names, and I'm just saying, be careful. That's all.
I got their
Your mods should be working overtime right now. You know what I mean?
Yep. And don't worry, I got Lemon Drops channel right here.
All right. No, I'm just. No, it wasn't for
Um,
that individual person. As there multiple people been around, so.
I see it. Yeah.
You know what? I
Guys,
wish
I'm
that.
sorry, but I'm gonna have to go.
Who said that?
Caitlin
It's
did.
like half. Look,
Caitlin, you leaving us now?
Yeah, I put my email and my Instagram in the private chat, so feel
so
free to
glad.
message me.
Instagram me. I sent you my info.
I sent you a message.
Good. Okay. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetie.
We appreciate you so much.
And Caitlin, thanks for coming on here. And just remember,
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we're all in this together. You're not alone.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for doing this live.
Can
It
I
means a lot.
can I put in my one piece? Come back and do this again with us one night, please.
I will.
And try to plant some plants and just take
Yeah.
care of it could be a petunia or whatever, a daisy, a lily, or something pretty.
Yeah.
Do something. Just start. And
Well-
if you want to get away, go take care of your garden.
And
It's a
also,
good spot.
Yeah.
taking care of plants, I found just being able to love something that ain't gonna leave me or hurt me or say nothing to me is very
Something you
nice
can
to
yell
have
at.
sometimes.
Something you can yell at that won't yell back.
Thank you,
Yep.
Caitlin. Thanks for sharing
Thank you.
everything. Okay.
Stay in touch. Bye.
We will. Bye.
Sweetie.
Bye, Caitlin.
Okay, so there's a question here. So did the Amish community treat you different because you were adopted? Absolutely. Yes. If you go into an Amish community and let's say something happens, okay, Amish people aren't innocent. There's Amish people that have committed suicide. There's Amish people that have murdered, all this stuff. And the biggest story that you hear in the Amish community when that person is adopted, they say, yeah, well, that's because he's adopted. That's the pretty much the only thing you hear all day long for weeks on end is because that person's adopted. That's why they did it. Like, are you serious?
They couldn't come up with
Oh,
nothing else.
he don't know how to ride a horse? That's because he's adopted.
Exactly.
Oh, I just remember so many family reunions of being the black sheep in the corner with all the dirty looks at me. Like, yeah, that never ends.
Oh,
I
he
just
got his
ate.
truck stuck in the mud? That little fucker's adopted.
Adopted,
Yeah.
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 So bad.
You weren't asked to the prom. You were
That's
adopted.
I heard you, Mr. Krista. Who said so bad?
I
Was
did.
that Krista's husband or somebody on Nina's side?
That was me.
It's
So
just so
bad.
crazy. It's like, no, do you guys know that how many times I've actually thought the reason why the guy didn't come back for a second date was because I was adopted? I swear. That's just like, he don't want to date me because I'm adopted.
No, I
I
never.
just
I don't think I ever thought that.
That's so stupid.
List.
I did.
Shit,
I was out here.
I've-
He thinks I'm weird. I'm adopted.
I've-
He ain't coming back. I think that's why every relationship has been bad, because I was adopted and they think I'm weird.
Yeah,
Other
yeah,
question-
you born with baggage.
How many of you guys know other people? Like, how many other people do you physically know that are adopted?
None. I don't hang around adopted people that are
So
friends.
one thing
None.
with the Amish people, there's a lot of adopted people. Well,
Four.
not Amish, but
Four.
Amish Mennonite. There's a lot of adopted people in the community. So they're like, we used to have what we call adoption reunions every year. People from all different states came together at one spot and spent all day together.
Just the adoptees
Yep. Well, the adoptees and their family.
Aw.
and their family. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at
Okay,
least they got to
that's
do that.
interesting.
But I like that question that you asked. How many of our friends are adopted? I don't have any friends that were adopted. I've never even met another person outside of myself that was adopted. I've never met somebody that's like, oh yeah, I'm adopted. Mm-mm.
I want to say I
Yeah,
personally know
I've met
5.
quite a few.
They're
I
your
know at least
friends?
4.
They're your
Yeah,
friends,
people-
though? Like, y'all became friends
actual-
first and then you found that they were adopted?
Yes.
Real live people. Real live
And
people.
boyfriend. Okay, here's the people that I know. Okay, so my brother and me, obviously, and then my high school best friend was, my high school boyfriend was. I didn't know they were until long into our friendships, relationships. I didn't realize that. Neither of them and my brother, none of them ever really, they wondered privately. They never ever really spoke about it. And they were very uncomfortable when I spoke about it.
Well, don't you guys know that adoption really, to a lot of people, is a dirty word?
I know it is. It's a dirty little secret, is what
It
it
really
is.
is. A
And
lot
pisses
of
me
people
off.
don't. They be like, you adopted. They already be like, oh, that person's out there.
Oh,
Fucked
don't
up
talk
and
about it.
talk about them. Yeah, they are. Like, oh, there's something wrong with us now. I was cool till I
Shit,
said,
their
well,
mama
yeah,
didn't even want that motherfucker. Oh.
yep. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's true, though. A lot of people feel like that. Their moms didn't want them, so, and you know what? And that's so weird because my own biological father had the audacity to put all the blame off on my biological mother. And I said, you know what? That's cold. Because
It takes 2 to tango.
you ain't kidding. I said, you could have stood up and said,
Coulda
no,
slapped
he
the
claimed,
rubber on.
oh, he claimed that he did. I said, no, but you didn't stand up. You didn't stand up enough. I was adopted. You see, I don't like that half thing. Well, I really didn't want to let you go, but you did, though. When you don't want to let go of something, you don't.
Yeah.
I didn't let go of mine. So.
Yeah. Okay, so then those of us who know adoptees, how many of them have found or have had contact with their birth parents? Like, I know I have. I know my brother has. I know my high school best friend did. I don't know. I don't know about
I'm the
any of
only
the
one.
rest.
Well,
did
I
it?
know
unfortunately,
I know 4 other adopted people, and I'm the only one out of all 5 of us that have found the birth parents or whatever. So
I know
so
a lot of them that met their biological family.
Who do you look like? You two, like in your family, like do you favor your mom, your dad, or
yeah, my mom, me and my brother
your
look
mom?
and sound just alike.
Wow.
Mm.
I don't look like anybody. I think that that's the strange part. I don't look like my biological mother, and I don't look like my biological father either, which makes the whole thing about being adopted even weirder. It makes
yeah.
me wonder, like, really, where did I come from? You know, it makes you
Right.
even feel like, did you guys lie about that? And have you ever went to go look it up to see like if you were missing or you were kidnapped or maybe that somebody else? No, seriously, I have. I'm like, I wonder
I
if I
didn't
really
know.
belong to some other people and they're
When I
looking
was
for me.
younger, I did. I'm not kidding. Just because of how
See,
crazy my mom with the Munchausen was, I didn't know where I really came from and what she
see,
was capable of. And I did look at databases for a
I
minute.
wonder, I wonder if somebody in I won't lie. I found out that when I went to jail one time, they said that I was born in Chicago, and I was like, Chicago? I've never been even to Chicago. Like, what are you talking about? So I wonder if somebody back in 1963, anybody out there, they're missing a daughter in Chicago. Maybe I'm the one you're looking for. Take a good look. I don't know.
Right.
Wouldn't that
That's,
be neat though?
Have you ever got any DNA testing or anything to find out?
I
No,
did, and
but
it
what?
confirmed. And okay, I did, and I got confirmed. And a few months ago, I actually got a message from somebody else who was adopted out of my birth father's side of the family, asking
So
about
what?
it. And so I pointed them in the direction of the family historian.
They're saying that for those people that have met their birth parents, would you do it again knowing what you know now?
Yep,
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say
Ab-
yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah,
Absolutely not.
I would.
yeah.
I
I'm
I
would
would
not.
have
very
to do
close
it.
with
I would
my
not.
birth dad.
I need
I
that
would
closure.
The
never
reason
Need
tried.
closure.
I mean, like, and I understand that, but for me, it's like it made matters worse.
Oh, it made it worse. Yeah, let me. I have to answer that in two
Reaching
parts
out
because
to my
you're right.
dad made it worse.
I have to answer it in two parts. I'm gonna answer it like this. Yes, I would do it again, and I hate the fact that I had to do it because it didn't. It make matters. It didn't make nothing better. I hate the fact that I did that because it just
Mm.
confirmed that I didn't like it then, and I didn't like it after I met her. So
I I would do it again because I still rely on that personal growth.
Yeah.
So
I guess
yeah,
the
Yeah.
reason. I
I
guess
would
the
It,
totally
reason.
do it again.
I
yeah,
guess
like
the
I
it
said, I
reason.
would
answered
do it again, but
questions.
I guess the reason that I would say absolutely not is because once my biological sister and half brother found me,
mhm.
I started hanging out with my biological family, including my biological mother. And after a while, like she literally started being absolutely rude because she wanted me to move up there. Would not call me by my adopted name. My name got
Oh
changed.
wow.
So once I said absolutely not, that's when she turned on me and said that she wants nothing to do with me, and that so it was like a double rejection from her.
Right.
Wow.
That's how it was from my father. My adoptive father my birth father wants nothing to do with me. I reached out to him once when I was 18, and now he has like, a stepdaughter and a perfect little family. But like, the thing is, I was born in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, where he's from, and I
Oh,
don't
Colorado.
know he's from, and everyone there who like his old bandmates in his punk bands, his old friends, they all know me, they all love me, and they all tell him, you need to fucking talk to this girl. And they've told him that for like 20 damn years, and he still won't reach out to me and refuses to. I'm close to his mom, even like my grandma and me are close, but like he won't even call me, Facebook me back. He blocked me on everything. I mean, he wants nothing to do. I'm just a page
Well,
thrown
I'm
away.
gonna say that. I'm gonna say this.
That.
That's his loss. I don't feel as though that they have a happy little family because you're a beautiful girl, and until
Yeah.
they can learn to love and include you, no, they don't have no beautiful, happy family at all.
Yeah.
They
It's
made
so
that up.
I'm just fucking like him. Like, you know, we both play guitar in punk bands and like
Oh,
same shit. Like, you know, like I'd love, he lives in Hawaii and like just plays guitar and like surfs and catches marlin. You know, like I'd love to just have a beer on the beach with my dad and listen to some good shit and hang out and talk. Like, that's all I'd fucking want, you
that's what I
know?
was trying to tell people, that we as an adoptee, we still have talent. We're still creative. Just like, listen to this girl. She plays the guitar. And I'm wondering if some of your music reflects your life.
Yeah, I mean, a
You
lot
write.
of it has a lot of anger. I think that's why I love punk music to begin with. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, my mom went to like, this is really weird. So my mom went to like Lollapalooza 91 pregnant with me, right? Like she went to all these punk shows and I didn't know anything about her or my dad, but growing up, I adored all the bands she saw live with me. You know, like and the Banshees and like Henry Rollins and like Black Flag, like the Descendant, like, you know, all of my favorite little punk bands are bands that she saw pregnant with me that I didn't know about until like
Wow.
I was 15 and she told me. And so I think like that in utero connection is so much stronger
Of
than
course. Of
uh,
course.
and also it could be because she was standing by a giant fucking speaker pregnant with me and I probably heard the whole damn thing and now I love the shit. Like, who fucking knows? But like, you know, it's really crazy how they did not raise me, but I am their child to a damn T when you put the two of them together. Personality, likes, everything, like hobbies. It's fucking weird. I mean, it's really kind of that nature over nurture.
Mm-hmm.
It's 50-50. I'm telling you. That's my experience.
Yeah.
Nature versus nurture. Yeah, it's about 50-50. You know? I mean, you
Yeah,
can't get rid of the DNA, but you can be programmed a
you
certain
ain't
way,
kidding.
right?
Yeah.
But DNA is something else. I mean, like I said, I
Oh,
have a
DNA,
sister.
a
We sound
motherfucker
just
now.
alike. My sister and I sound just alike, and we voices that you wouldn't be able to tell us apart when we go to talk.
Yeah, my little
And
brother, he's 14, and I look at pictures at me when I was 14, we could have been twins. He's a little boy version of me, and he acts just like one because he's a little shithead, and so I know he's my brother. He is so my fucking brother to the core. And then my other brother, he's in a metal band. You know, like it's like everything that's me. There's little bits in them that's like, how the fuck did you get that? Because I didn't know you for half my life. Like, where did you pick that from? Like, it's just
we kind
so
of got
weird.
to watch the language a little bit.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's
Oh,
okay.
I know that.
Just,
It's my fault. I know.
It's hard.
What'd you
I'm
say, the
surprised
foster
I
care
haven't
system is
cussed yet.
more
I think I have a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
I'm always
foster
going
care
out.
system?
Me too.
Well, somebody said about the foster care system. The thing about um, adopted children, that's a little bit different than the foster care system. I mean, because I don't usually people that are adopted, it either happens real young and we're well on our way into these families,
Right.
or you're in foster care and you're not adopted. It's not like you're in foster care and then
We may not
you
be
do
able to.
that for so long to where you're 9 and 10 and 11 and then you get adopted. So it's kind of like you're either a foster care kid or you're an adopted kid. But for the most of it to be both is not the norm. Even though it does happen, we're adopted children. We're not foster care kids. We were 10 days
Yeah.
old, under a year. That's how we were. So we wouldn't consider ourselves foster care kids. We're adopted children. Those are different. Foster care kids, they've been moved around from home to home. and they usually do know their parents, and their parents are trying to get them back, and somehow either they didn't do what they needed to do, or the system failed them. Those are system kids. That's something entirely different than what we
Yeah,
went
that's a
through.
whole different ball of wax.
A
So
whole different thing.
I'm going to put a comment up, and it's something that I have talked about so many times over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put it up there, and I want to hear your guys' opinion before I even say anything.
Okay. Yep, I've done it.
So you
Whoever
given
did
a
this.
child up? Detroit, you
Wait
gave
a
a
minute.
child up for adoption?
Wait a minute. Sometimes women don't understand and give them up for enough. Okay, I read that differently. Okay, like sometimes women have.
Like, yeah, I've had a one night stand.
Right. See, my mind is on something else.
Yeah.
That
Okay. I thought
that
you meant like
maybe a few
you
more
can't.
than one night, but yeah, that pretty much explains my conception. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, me
that does.
too.
Women do that a lot. Yeah, they do. But I mean,
This
that was
is
something that women
backstage at a
did back
punk
in the
show. It
60s
wasn't
and 70s.
intentional.
Yeah, women did that a lot back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. That's not something that's of the norm in the 90s and 2000s. People
Well,
don't
I would
usually
say
do that.
that
Like,
depends on your
No.
belief because
That's
there
why we
are
have so many teen moms.
well, and it goes
which,
into people's beliefs as well because if they don't believe in abortion, then and they don't want to
yeah,
keep
see,
it
a woman,
up
yeah, the woman, yeah,
adoption, and so it does happen today. It just really depends on the person's more so religious
yeah,
or
but yeah, but usually nowadays, the reason why I say that is because usually nowadays there's the men are involved now. So a woman can't just have a one night stand and then give the
right.
child up. They have to get the father to sign the release off too. And
Totally.
usually when that happens, then the father will step in and say, "Well, I'll take the child," and she's going to do that.
Hopefully.
So, but that's
Hopefully.
yeah, well, hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
But that statement about the one night stands and women get pregnant and giving away the child, that was like in 1950s, 60s, 70s, in the early 80s. Now we're talking about 2000. That
Yeah.
father has to sign off, and then the judge has to sign off, and and
A
Jesus
lot more
himself got to
people
sign
know
off.
about it.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Well,
like
something that also
I was
happens
about to say something. It's starting to get late because I was about to say something really rude.
I was just to say real
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave
happened
that one alone.
that was that people would have children and then claim they were their parents' child and their sibling instead of their own child.
Oh yeah, that was back in the 50s,
Very common
60s,
back then as
70s,
well.
and
And
80s.
adopting the child, their parents would just raise them as another sibling.
As their brother, yeah, their sibling, yeah.
Right.
That happened
That's
a lot back in the, once again, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, early 80s.
I know some people that did something similar. The kid went to the girl's aunt and she raised her as a daughter, so they grew up like cousins almost, sort of. It was kind of weird,
Right.
but that was in the 2000s. So
And the problem with that is when it's undisclosed and the child doesn't know the truth about it. And then they find out 20 years later that their sister's their
I'm
mom.
magic.
They're complex, you know.
Yeah.
I'm magic. I can pick this up without holding it, you guys. Magic.
that's that
So-
sticky crap on there. We know we know.
So, you
You
guys
didn't
gave,
know that adopted people are magic.
you guys
You
gave
know,
your
we all got the superpowers as adopted.
Yep. If you're adopted, you can do all kind of magical tricks. You be
So-
quiet, YouTuber.
Detroit.
I see dead people.
So you guys
What's up,
give,
Jeremiah?
you guys give your opinion on that comment, right? Now, I'm going to give my opinion, and unlike most people, I am very blunt on certain things.
Same.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be very blunt right here and now. If you can't spread your love for a kid, then don't spread your legs for a guy.
Amen.
Or at least wrap that thing up and use birth control.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, there's no excuse all these unexpected pregnancies. No, it's not unexpected. I'm sorry, it's
now,
not
hang on.
unexpected. You have sex,
Hang on.
you should
Let me-
expect to get pregnant.
Let me clarify one thing though. If you use protection, that's a different story. But if you're not going to use it, then don't spread your legs for a guy if you can't spread your love for a guy, for a kid.
A child. Yeah.
Well, and also like the fact that there's plan B and things that you can do afterwards. Like, you know, like there's so many steps you can take to prevent having
Well,
that.
I'm not trying to be funny, but I really wish my biological mother would have used Plan B, C,
Yeah.
D, E, F, and G before she went to adoption. Because
I've had that feeling about, I don't know, a lot of times.
Every
I
day.
can't say how many times I've said I wish I was an
every
abortion.
day,
Yeah.
Yep.
every day. Yep, I'm about to go
You've
fill
heard me
my.
say it.
I'll be right back.
It's like I said. That is
Sometimes that's just how
that
it is.
statement. I stand by that statement. If you're not going to use protection,
I agree.
Well, Jeremiah, I know how you feel about that because I know how you feel about kids. You know,
Yep.
we talked about that last night, and I know how you feel about kids. That's another thing about you. You know, is that when you opened up and talked about the adoption, I was like, I knew it was something about Jeremiah. And then when you watch the show, he always stands by anything that's right about children,
Mhm.
and I like that. He's down for the kids, and you know.
Hey guys, I gotta get going.
Oh, who's trying to leave now?
I gotta get going.
You know we don't do goodbyes too well.
Oh, I know, not you, but it's not goodbye. I'll
that's
see you
why you
later.
never say.
Okay, I'll do it again.
We can't.
You never say goodbye. You just say, "I'll see you later."
Adopted people are not good with just people leaving. I don't know.
I
It's like,
know.
oh, she's leaving us. You know how that goes. Ooh. Well,
No, I'll see you later. I'll join you guys next time because my soul needed
Yeah,
it.
you'll be back next time. See you there.
I will. My soul needed it. Thank you guys.
thanks so much, Nina.
Good, Nina. See ya.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we are down to 4. We are down to 18 viewers. If anybody in the chat has anything they want to ask, now would be the time to ask. And if anybody on panel has something they want to say, then they can say it now. And then once we have that done, then we're going to keep the people on panel. We're going to end the live stream, and then it's just going to be whoever wants to stay on panel, us 4 here, we can keep talking.
Okay.
Hey, I want to address something that's being talked about in the chat.
Okay.
Police accountability and hippie, they're talking about. I thought that fostering a child was a good thing, but after hearing our responses, it changed his mind. Don't change your mind about fostering. It's not a bad thing. It's a excellent thing. Every kid needs love, and if you have it in your
Yeah.
heart to foster a kid, but make sure you want to do it for the right reasons. Make sure you want to
Right.
keep that kid until they are an adult. You don't have to adopt. You can foster a kid through the whole growing up thing, but then if you do that, just don't drop them.
Not everywhere though. A lot of places won't let the foster child stay there more than a year, so there's no attachment. And
Oh, you're talking about
that
what?
happens.
What do you mean, like fostering? I need
Yeah.
them to be more specific about when they're saying foster. Are you trying to become a foster parent where children are brought into your home when there's been like
Adoption is different. That's legal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
But so what are they trying to say
fostering,
when they're
you're
saying
just-
fostering? Yeah, what are you saying? Like to the person that had that question, can you be more specific? Do you mean like having a foster care, daycare type situation, or are you talking about fostering until you think about adoption?
Yeah, they're talking about fostering. Is this and then they're going to say a hippie connection. Do you mind me asking if they agree, if that people should foster or should they just adopt straight away? That's up to you. If you want to have a kid in your life for the rest of your life and you want to be there for that kid until you die, adopt. But if you don't want to be there for that kid for the rest of your life, foster.
I know adoption and fostering is needed, but it's an entirely flawed system. Well, you know what? Everything is flawed in this whole
Yeah.
world. And
Life
it's
is
up to
flawed.
you. Yeah, it's up to you to life is a conundrum. So with that said, it's gonna be up to you to make sure that you're not a flawed person. Because see, me as being an adopted kid, kids don't know what flaws are. All we know is what love is, and we know what it's not. And we're not against adoption.
Or
What
at
we're
least we get
against is being
to
abused.
feel what it
No.
seems like love is.
Right, right. Don't you notice that we're all here? We're hurt because it ain't about the adoption. It's about what we didn't get after you. After it's like you promised us a family, and what we got is we got from went from the pan into the fire. It wasn't no different. Like you might as well just left me where I was.
Detroit. So I wanna get you to say something again for police accountability. Um,
Mhm.
you've mentioned numerous times today and yesterday how something about how somebody said something about you. I can't even remember. Maybe you guys know. Or maybe you two watcher, or even you, Detroit or Krista.
Well, kick half of it out so we can remember the rest. Come on.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think the words, but it was so about you not being their kid, or you they made you feel like you were not their kid or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the also thing. You talking about
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
we love
Yeah.
you too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that was YouTube. That was YouTube watcher that said that he didn't like that about how oh oh and
It's a
we
whole lot
love
of
you
things I
guys
don't
and
like
we
about
love you
things.
guys right we love you guys oh and you too we love you too.
Hmm.
He like he said he didn't feel adopted until somebody said that.
Oh,
We don't
we
want you to
got you a
feel.
present under the tree. Also, we got you one. Don't worry.
That's what it was. That's what it was. See, he knows because they did that to him. He's scarred. He's scarred for life because of that. He
I
doesn't like
felt it.
that.
I've seen it happen to other kids. I mean, it is what it
And,
is.
so,
That shit happens to us. We're
what is
always
any of you on the
we're always
panel
made
or king or
to feel
queen of
included,
the
but
foster system?
they make a big deal out of including adopted kids, you know, and it shouldn't be
Uh,
like that. It shouldn't even be like a second thought. Just treat them like a normal kid. But
see,
there's always that thing, and we're a little jaded just because we are adopted. We
hmm
pick up on that shit, and they don't even know they're doing it, you know. And
Yeah.
so, I
let me
mean, we've got to keep that in our mind too. I mean, I just had to put that out there to play devil's advocate, I
let me
suppose.
let
But
this
Yeah.
Crystal. Let me say this to Crystal Blue because I really need to get this out here
Do it.
because you guys keep talking about this foster care adoption system. Um, I don't know how to tell you this, Crystal Blue, but for real, we didn't go through no system to get adopted. There was no system. That's not how adoption works. Adoption usually works. The mother doesn't want you, and it immediately happens. What system did we go through? We didn't go through no system. That's when a child is already in foster care, and then you have to go through that system to get adopted. But we're talking about
well,
babies
there
like
is
us
an
that got.
adoption process,
Yeah,
and
but that's
There
different.
is.
She's talking about the foster care
but the
and
kids
adoption
that get
system.
adopted, well, like me and well, I know me.
Our
I got adopted real young, you know,
Me
right.
too.
as a
That's what.
baby.
See me too.
That's
So
like
we didn't go through no
uh
system.
that's like Chris earlier. He said he got adopted at 3 days old. I was adopted
Yeah.
at four
See,
days. Well,
there
I
wasn't. We
was
didn't
put in
go
a
through a
foster care
system.
at 4 days, but you know,
Yeah.
I stayed
Yeah.
with the same family the whole time.
See,
You
and
know.
me too. So we didn't go through a system like um. But they asked us like if we were the king and queen of the foster care daycare system, what would we fix? There's you know what? There's nothing to fix. The problem is that if you're going to give me up for adoption and with the intent to love me like I was your child, that's all I want you to do. We're getting everything but that. We're getting constantly reminded that we're adopted. Um, you're not listening to us when we're telling you that we're hurting, and you're feeling like, well, why? We're giving you a house, we're giving you a roof, we're loving you when your own mother didn't love it. We're being constantly reminded that we're adopted, and there becomes the problem. And so Look how young all of us were when we were adopted. So at this point, we shouldn't have any memory according to laws of physics. How do we still even remember anything about being adopted? And I remember everything about how I feel. I shouldn't, at going on 60 years old, I should not still feel the way I did when I was 7. How? If I wasn't hurt, how? I shouldn't be still shedding tears from being adopted. You know, I'm almost on my way out of here, out of life. You know,
But
I'm
that's
supposed to
kind
be
of
an
why I
80.
brought it up. It's why I brought it up last night. I remember hiding in a closet, crying my ass off when I was, single digit ages, multiple times.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that a
Jeremiah,
lot more vivid than I do most of the good times,
see? And now,
and
Jeremiah, please tell us about you being abused and beaten. And why does he still remember that real clear? When Jeremiah told me that, mm-mm-mm. Can you please share that? Are you in a good space right now?
Jeremiah, you're muted.
I can't hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
there you are.
So that's something that I cannot share at this point. It's going to come out
I
later.
didn't. Okay, I didn't think so.
Okay.
Well, it's just that none of us should be able, according to according to whatever books. Okay, there's no way that I should be feeling and experiencing and can remember can remember feeling by feeling, word by word, what happened to me when I was 15. Do you see how long ago I was 15? I'm closer to being 80 than I am going back to 15. So why do I still feel that? Because it was trauma. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what usually happens in adoption. I don't know why so many people that have been adopted are traumatized. That's what people need to go back and figure out, because that's what happened. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I've been traumatized. Hold it. Is there anything a parent to any one of you adoptees can say that would make things better? Oh, now you really want to make me cry at the connection. Is there anything that a parent could have said to me? Yep. I just wanted my biological mother to look me in my eyes and just hold me and don't let me go for about a couple hours and stroke my hair and rub my face and tell me for real that she loved me as much as she loves my brothers and sisters.
Which
And
parent? That's my question.
that
The
my
biological
biological,
parent?
yes,
No,
yeah, I
I don't.
wanted her to tell me, hold on, I
I could
needed my
spit an answer
biological
out.
mother.
I could give you an
Huh?
answer for either one of those parents, but no, they're not right now. No,
Well,
um, no.
I needed my biological mother to tell me that the color of my dark skin doesn't bother her. I was too black for her. And I just wanted her to tell me it's okay to be black. It's okay to be dark. I just wanted her to accept the color of my black skin. That's all.
Yay.
Oh,
Oh, she's so
oh,
cute.
adorable. Look at all that hair. How do these kids get all this long, thick hair?
Good Lord.
So yes, I am a grandpa, step grandpa. That is a granddaughter.
Well,
Good
I know
grief.
you're a good one. I know you're a good one.
Here's one for you.
Okay. 60.
I did.
Yeah. I'm old, baby. I'm
Oh,
a
Are we
60s
joking?
baby.
oh,
I'm a 60s baby.
we're gonna go there. Oh yes, we are.
I'm a 60s baby. Any advice for someone who wanted to take in it? Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I definitely wanted to adopt an older person. Yeah, I did. And I think that it's a shame that that's not being pushed, because let me tell you something. I believe that these teenagers need still a family to come to when they gone off to college or they've gone off and they've had their own families and stuff. I would want to adopt somebody that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 because you're going to grow up and have your own family, have your own kids, and I want you to be able to knock on the door and say, "Hi, Mom," or tell your grandkids they have a grandmother. I would love that. Yes.
I got 2 cents for that. I got 2 cents for that. Make sure you got a lot of music, wide varieties of music. Make sure you got headphones that are really loud. Make sure you got a lot of paper in there. You never know if they're gonna write, if they're gonna draw, have color pencils and markers, and because you don't know what you're getting into. Have a good long conversation with them and make sure you dig in and provide them everything they need for any outlet they might enjoy.
Don't try to change them.
No, you got to let them explore.
They're too
you have
old
to give
at
them
that
the
point.
opportunity.
Yeah, I would rather deal with a teenager than, because that way, see, you can't, let me tell you about teenagers nowadays. They will chew you up and spit you out if you come at them with any BS. They're like us. They know the difference. I don't have to sit there and lie to them and tell them that, I care and stuff like that. They'll know. They know you do. They know if you do or you don't. I would love to adopt a teenager. I even thought, what do you think about people that are adopting even older people? I remember that man adopted that woman. See, when people, something about adopted people, we always like weird stuff. I know.
You
I knew I wasn't in this by myself. I wanted to adopt.
I got weird stuff.
I do. I just think stupid stuff. Like, I'm thinking, like, what if there was a girl and she was older and she wanted to be, I'm so, where did I even go with this? I'm going to be ashamed of myself. I want to adopt a 40-year-old girl. What the hell am I thinking? What's wrong with me? I don't know. He said, I don't even know where to go with this. Either A, I'm getting sleepy, or B, well, I wouldn't adopt a
Detroit.
At my age.
You're just getting old. I'm sorry.
I am. I came up with that when I was old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my daughter Gabrielle said she's sharing your video. Hi, Gabrielle, Detroit. I had to hear it again. 60. Baby. This is 60. This is the new 60.
Hubba, hubba.
Ah,
Ow, ow, ow.
Yep.
What? I watched a lot of cartoons with wolves and things, when I was a little kid, okay?
Detroit, did you say somebody sharing the video?
Yeah, my daughter, Gabby J.
The more people that share this video, the better it is.
Sharing the video. I've had a lot of people tonight get very upset because they've been texting me. That's how I got disconnected, because they've been running around trying to find us. My sister that was adopted wanted to come on here.
And no, this video will not be monetized.
There it is.
I don't care.
I don't care.
It's not going to. I want this video to be shared as often as possible. That's my goal.
Okay. Hey, something I was going to say, I don't know, I was thinking about it maybe an hour and a half ago or something. I don't know. We've been up here for a while. We're not up here for some kind of pity party either. It's,
oh no.
It's not.
We don't
it's not
even do
as.
that.
Yeah, wait. It's not like we're up here trying to get sympathy from people and trying to pull heartstrings on people or anything like that. We're just up here trying to talk about a subject that a lot of people generally don't hear about. They don't generally
talk
have
about it.
a bunch of adults that have been adopted get up and talk about how they feel about, their situation. Normally you hear about kids and young kids, and I'm so glad she came up here at 15. That was cool. I hope she got
I thought that was us.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And I hope she took some of our bad behaviors and realizes that she doesn't need to go down that route. That's why I kept pushing
Oh,
the gardening, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
and that's true. And I learned
and
from her too. I learned from
it's
her too.
it's not a pity party as much as it is an educational experience for people that just
Yeah.
don't fucking understand what we're talking about,
Well,
you
see,
know?
I'm hoping that somebody will say, if they were going to adopt tomorrow, and I keep saying it to where, you know, I hope they go to bed tonight and say, you know what, whatever we woke up thinking today, this morning, you better rethink that, because we're giving you the answers to what could be a lifetime headache for yourself if you do this. I mean, there's only one way that you can
It's
do this.
it's not even the parents of kids that they're thinking about adopting or whatever. It's about boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives and sons and daughters of people that are adopted. You know, when we
Hmm.
feel a certain kind of way that seems a little bit over the top because we just got fired from a job, think about it. You know, I mean, there's
Hmm.
something else in play there, and maybe that's part of it. You know what I mean? So
Do you remember what we all pretty much all agreed on last night? Last night we said if we can get one person,
Yeah,
one remember
yeah,
yep.
yeah. That was
that's
the goal.
that was the whole goal of this video.
Well, you see that's how it got started. When
Yep.
Jeremiah got the attention of just one person, you know, it started. And that because it's one person even in each household,
Oh, and
basically.
Krista, what we're
Uh-huh.
talking about is if we can educate one person and that person actually gets it.
Yeah.
Right. You get that
Yep.
snowball effect, you know?
Yep,
Yep.
yep. Because I know
No,
other people. If people that are adoptees, we ain't even got to. That's like singing to the choir. We don't have to sing to them. Today, somebody heard this conversation and they know that was their life. They know. You don't have to go and explain anything to an
Nope.
adoptee at all. We haven't even explained nothing to each other. We've all been talking, and we still feed off of each other because we know that we can relate to that 100%.
I I have a question for all y'all.
Hmm.
Being adopted, does that do you feel more uh do you feel more social than other people? Are you better at making friends? Are you better at hanging out with your friends' parents?
Love,
Um,
Hell no.
do you,
love.
Hell
no?
no.
I find myself
No.
doing that.
No,
I,
because I don't want to be left. It's
What
like
do you
what I was
find
saying
yourself doing,
earlier. I
Jeremiah?
could be in a room full of people and I still want to be alone.
I am
Right,
Didn't
one.
you
right.
just?
I mean, it all depends on the situation, but for the most part, I am one who opens up very easily. I open up and I become friends very easily, but I will be the first one to shut you out too.
Well,
Yeah.
Yes,
we
I've
knew
seen you
that
do that.
shit. You're the one that
No,
hosted the show, so.
but it's so funny because no, he does that on the show. No, Jeremiah is like no other person I've ever met. I promise you, because I want to know how he does that, because here's Jeremiah. If you didn't know that he was adopted, because he hides that, he can just like smoke screen that over so good. And then here you're thinking he's out here being sociable, he's out here kicking it, having fun. Jeremiah's the life of the party. And then all of a sudden it's like one, two, three. What was that? And
um,
then
look,
he shuts down and will almost kick your ass if you don't get away from him and leave him alone. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? I said, uh oh, here we
police
go.
accountability report, right? Hi, Taya. Oh, it's good show. Hey, Jeremiah's gonna be on there soon. Anyway, uh,
Jeremiah
it's
is. I used to sit up there and I was just like, "Where are we going?"
it
I would go
it
on the
is
trip with them in my head.
it is
Okay.
like PTSD. It really is.
It is.
But it's not even post traumatic. It's for a
It's
lot of us
current
like me.
traumatic.
It's
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 it's lifelong
it's
traumatic.
it's birth traumatic. It's not
Yeah,
even.
yeah,
How's it post when it shit happened before you were born?
yeah.
You know.
Before
It's
But
you
yeah,
already,
it
yeah,
is.
because
It is a traumatic
well,
stress
see,
in your life. It
biological
is.
mother knew. My biological mother knew before I was born that she was giving me away. So I guarantee you, I felt that in the womb. I can tell when I'm laying in the bed with a man, he ain't coming back. Oh, you about to break up with me? That's like the same thing. You're in the bed. That feels like the womb. He's there,
Yep.
they're holding me, and
You can tell.
he's saying something different than what.
You know when it's your last time.
But you do.
Yep.
He's laying there.
Yep.
Oh, he's doing all this, and and hugging me. I love you so much, Detroit. And like, me too. My dumb self. Oh, me too.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Right. Exactly. And then I get up in the morning, and he's like, so, I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm like, here you go. I'm about to go to jail. Like, what you say, man? He's like, you want? Can you just move to the side, Detroit? It's like, no, I become Hercules. I can pick that man up and throw him. No. You ain't leaving me.
Can I address an elephant that walked out of the room like an hour and a half or 2 hours ago? I don't know Jeremiah from the show so much. Like I know y'all know him from the show and stuff, and like I know he's from this show and I saw this show, but I don't connect with him like that. Like I know him from Chalkwall and the police stuff and police accountability. Okay. So you see though, there's two people in that chat that how y'all some kind of way the starstruck hit earlier when Mama Mary popped up here. Yeah. Like there's two people in this chat that if they popped in here, I would feel that way. Jeremiah, you understand?
Oh yeah, I do.
'Cause it's Noli D and Taya, and yeah. Oh.
Well.
Anyway, so see now I feel like crying. Oh.
I wish I would have been able to hear Mama Mary though. I do.
Yeah.
But back to this relationship thing.
Only it's a bit of tripolar with a dash of insecurity. Yep. Pretty much.
I can tell when they get ready to leave. Baby. I would throw in everything I can.
Hippie, you gotta mix that together and it develops into a little bit of OCD too. By the way.
The complex PTSD, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There is a name for it. There were too many initials for me. I got ADHD. That's all them SPCT, RESPCT. Oh shit.
All right.
Baby.
I think we lost YouTube watcher.
That was too many SPCT or something.
So I think we are pretty much done.
What happened? Everybody's gone?
No, it's not. Yes and no.
Well, what does anybody out there have to say? Somebody, I know there's some questions out there that somebody want to ask.
He hit the wrong button. Nope. I just posted the link, YouTube watcher.
Don't be afraid to ask the question. I know there's got to be some kind of question that people want to ask.
Yeah, and we have Joe Cool in the chat, so I'm sure Joe Cool, knowing him, he can come up with some good questions.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. You men.
I hit the wrong button.
I want to ask the guys, how does your adoption play a part in your relationships? Not your current. I'm talking about when you guys were dating and all that kind of stuff. Did it make you, feel less trust for a female or what? Because I really wonder.
No, it didn't matter, male or female, didn't matter. I mean, best friend, girlfriend, whatever. They come and go, right? Like parents, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Did you guys? So how
Yeah.
was that for you? Because really,
Mm.
we must be. So for a female, I never even thought about my adoption and the men that I was with. I never even that was way over there. I separated myself from that. I would have never gone into a relationship and thought, "Oh, this ain't gonna work out." And adoption never even come to my. Sometimes I forget, I don't know. So I don't know.
No,
Maybe I was too busy doing other things. I don't know. I didn't think about that.
see, no, I
I
don't
was a
think.
hopeful like that. What about you, Krista?
I'm trying to think. I'm like, I was always hopeful that
See,
whoever I
hopeful.
was with would work out as a
See,
relationship,
see.
but there was
Mm-hmm.
always something down in my gut that I always knew that it would or would not actually work.
Good show, yeah. Absolutely. I told you I was dyslexic. Love something.
Aw.
Yes, you
Double
can adopt.
adopted. Double adopted.
Adopt me all you want. Buy beer. That's all I ask.
And make sure you notice I'm eating. As long as you got some food, I'm cool.
I was like, as long as Detroit ain't hungry, we're good.
Oh, you know I'm going to jail. I already told you.
Right? I've gotten it.
What is it?
One thing I've always said is like I have a lifetime's worth of anger build up, and I'm afraid that if I were to get in a fight, that it would be really, really, really bad for the other person.
Well, police,
Accountability.
you know what? I want to really thank you for that comment though, because that's real. Um, and you really, you've come up with some really good questions, and you had me really thinking about some things too. Because I really didn't ever think about foster care versus adoption, and and all those things. That's really some
If you
things to
don't
think
know
about because we
anything,
have a whole.
if you don't know anything about her channel, you have to go subscribe to Police Accountability Report. Please.
So
She does
what's
great
it?
work.
Detroit, there's a few of them in
It's
here.
in the name, Detroit. It's in the name.
Yep.
That's
Nola
what's
D.
up.
Nola
That's
D.
what's up.
Nola D is one to check out. Or I think she posts. And then there's Joe Cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that from yesterday.
Joe Cool is from
Nola D.
Joe Cool's from Chicago. That's another cop
That's what's
watcher.
up.
And then you got Otter the
There's
Watchdog.
Otto's in there.
Yep.
Okay, Joe Cole.
He's been in there a
Cole is
couple times
asking-
actually.
What happened to Emo?
He's live, or he was. But Joe Cool said, "Is there any difference between the way the parents treat adopted kids and their biological kids?"
Hell yeah.
Well, you know what?
As much as they try not to, they just can't help it.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what my mama did. Wait a minute, we forgot about this, you guys. Okay, so my parents adopted me first, and then adopted another girl. Her mother was murdered. Okay, and that's my sister that was trying to get on here. She was from Indiana, and her mother was the first black school teacher to ever teach at the Vanderbilt County School Corporation. This is in the '60s. Her mother was a socialite, so she was on the Jet magazine. We're talking about a NAACP woman here. I'm not going no further about that. The woman was murdered. Anyway, so my mom adopted her daughter. And so I was already adopted. So I think I was about 8 or 9 when she came into the house. And now remember, I didn't know I was adopted. All right. So what do cruel kids always say? Oh, here it go. Well, at least I'm not adopted.
Hey, YouTube watcher.
Yes,
can you imagine Joe Cool and Detroit Soloist on a panel together?
I would rather just watch them be on the panel and have a conversation just to see what was said. I was actually thinking about Alan earlier. And because Detroit was talking about how she does some of the speakings and things like that. I think he would be really good at that stuff too. But I would love to watch them two, just have a conversation. Hell yeah.
Tom Zebra has been arrested. Who's that?
Is it again? He just got arrested like 2 weeks ago.
Who's
Tom Zebra?
He's a cop watcher.
Oh, he's a cop watcher. He's
Oh.
the longest going cop watcher I can think of in L.A.
Oh, okay.
No
It looked
shit.
like somebody been carving in them. I'm like, you know what? DNA is some real shit. My grandkid's been carving in here on my table. Didn't I just say I
Tom
used to do
Zebra,
that?
doesn't he live in Inglewood?
Oh no.
Something like that. I don't know. Man's crazy and he's brilliant, and the cops don't really fuck with him that much, but
I think my grandkid's been carving on this table, y'all.
A cop
Remember
watcher.
I told you I did that to my parents' table?
A cop watcher is somebody who goes out and films the police and holds them accountable for their wrongdoings if they, because there's a lot
or
of.
at least goes out and films.
They're shady.
Yep.
Because cops are fucked up.
Some are. Yep.
This is
So
where I take a coffee break with some tea.
anybody else have something they want to say? If not, then we'll have a little bit of fun, YouTube watcher.
Greetings, happy Cops Day.
We'll get Joe Cool up here to have a conversation with Detroit.
Who is Joe Cool?
I know, right?
Who's Joe
Joe Cool,
Bring him
baby.
in. Let's see.
The camel from Camel?
Joe Cool. My husband says Joe Cool is the Camel cigarette guy.
Joe Cool.
Okay, hold on.
That was Joe Camel.
I know.
Oh.
Joe Camel. He's
Come
not a
on, come
smoker.
on.
Okay. Well, why Mr. Cool is coming up here? Let me take my cool ass into this and go do something real quick. I'll be right back. I'll get right with you.
You don't go far. We know you got Bluetooth on, girl.
You shouldn't have said that, so you might have been able to hear something. You missed the whole thing.
Shit. We already know. Everybody been watching for hours. We know.
Oh, shit.
And
Now y'all making me feel guilty. Y'all making me feel weird, like you know what I'm over here doing. Wow.
Ole, ole,
That's why you're supposed to
ole,
mute your
ole.
mic.
Happy birthday.
So, hang on one second. So, since we are pretty much same as done, correct?
What? Are we going to private now?
No,
Are we going to private now?
no, but
No?
I'm gonna end the stream on Facebook if we're done.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Bye, Facebook.
Bye, everybody.
So on Facebook, thanks for joining.
Bye, Zuckerberg.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel because now I will not be streaming to Facebook all the time. So
And I'm not going on the Facebook fan page.
That's right.
So.
That's right. So anyhow, thanks for joining on Facebook.